Tai Chi. Lifting the feet, going back and forth. Open up the body. And when you're ready, you're going to take your hands up to the sky. Right? You're going to bend your knees, send your hips back and down. Push your hands towards the back of the room. Push forward, come back up. All right, so we're going to do that a few more times. Take your feet super wide as you can. Take your hands up to the sky. Bring your right hand to your left ankle. Back up. Two more on each side. Down. Bring our feet in, and then we're going to come down to the mat. You can get down there without using your hands. Now, here. We're going to come. First, we're just going to do our upper front squeeze. Right? We're doing a traditional warm up, and then we're going to do some other stuff. So, you're going to take your arms out long. Take fists with your hands. Pull your elbows into your ribs. And you're going to tuck your chin to your chest. You're looking down at your belly. And then you're going to come halfway down. And then from there, right, you want to be right at that icky point where you feel that belly kick in. You want to go all the way up or all the way down. But as you come up, you're going to push your belly back to your thighs. Lift your chin off your chest. Look up. So keep your elbows glued to your ribs the whole time, right? They're not flapping around. They're staying tucked in. Tuck your chin, ground down halfway, and then push your belly to your thighs, lift your chin, look up. All right, do that about 10 more times. Abs warmed up, get in the back, warmed up. One more here. 4, 3, 2, push all the way up. Wrap your hands around your chin into your chest, rub your forehead to your knees. Come back up here. Right now, from here, you take your arms out long, round all the way down to the mat. Right from here, we're just going to do our heel taps. I'm going to turn sideways so you guys can see me. You're here. Now, you're in the your knees right over your hips. Your calves are parallel to the ground. Right. If you want to, you can lift your head and shoulders up. It takes a little bit more. Make it easier. You let your head and shoulders come down. Say that, right? You let your head come down like we're doing the hundreds, right? You keep your shoulders and your fingertips elevated. So your core still is engaged. All right, now from here, just take your right heel. You're going to drop that right heel down to the mat. Now see as my right heel comes to the mat, both my left leg, which didn't move, and my right leg are still in an L shape. Right, so I haven't changed the shape of the leg. And then just pull it back up. You're going to do the same thing with the left leg. You just drop that heel down. Right, what you don't want to do, you're not extending your left leg as you come down. You're not pushing your heel toward your glute, tap your toes, right? You want to keep that L shape. Right, pull that left leg back up, do the right again. Give that heel a little tap, tap this time. So you're tap, tapping, pulling it back up. Left leg, tap, tap, pull it back up. So as you do those tap taps, you're actually exhaling through the mouth. So a little tougher breath. Then you inhale and pull the leg back up. Pull it back up. Pull it back up. All right, so we're going to do that about 5 more times each side. 4 more. Tap, pull it up. Tap, pull it up. 3 more. Tap, pull it up. Tap, pull it up. 2 more. Tap, pull up. Tap, pull up. Last one. Tap, up. Tap, pull up. And then let your head and shoulders come all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Taking a little breather here, letting that back relax, letting those hip flexors relax. They tend to kick in a lot when we're doing these heel taps. Now we're going to do the heel taps one more time. This time we're going to try do it with both legs, right? So you can bring your heels together, so making that little Pilates V, or you can keep your heels parallel to each other. It's up to you, right? But you're going to drop both heels down to the ground, still in that L shape. Right? Give it that little tap, tap. Pull your knees back over your hips. Tap, tap. Pull it back up. Let your head come down if you need to. Tap, pull it back up. Now we're just going to do 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right now, let your head and shoulders come down. Let your knees come in to your chest. Right now from here, we're going to come back up, right? Take your hands to the crease of your knees. Roll yourself up to this hook line pose. Now from here, you're going to take your arms out long, right? Like we did before, make fists with your hands, pull the elbows to the ribs. Now from here, we're going to come to that halfway point where we're halfway down, right? And then see if you can lift your right foot up off the mat and just kick it straight out. So the sole of your foot's coming forward. And then bend back into it, set it down, lift your left foot up, kick it forward. We're just warming up the legs for something we're going to do later. Do this a couple more times. So you should be at that halfway point so your core is engaged. So you feel something when you do this, right? If you're all the way up and you're just kicking your legs forward, you're not going to feel anything. You got to go to that halfway point. All right, let's do it 3 more times on each leg here. 3, 2, 1 more. And then push your belly all the way up to your thighs. Hug around your knees. Tuck your chin to your chest. All right. Now from here, we're going to go back down into our floating table. Right? So take your arms long, lower yourself all the way down. Bring those legs to floating table. All right, now you're going to keep your knees right over your hips. Or calves are parallel to the ground. This first part, here's what we're going to do. You're going to take your fingertips, bring them together behind your necks. Your elbows are out to the sides. All right, so on this first one, what you're going to do here, you're going to lift your head and shoulders up. So that happens first. As you lift your head and shoulders up, your elbows are out wide. Now, like I always tell you not to do, right? Here we're going to bring those elbows to center. So your elbows point towards your knees. And then from there, pull your knees in. Let your tailbone lift off the mat until your knees touch your elbows, right? And then bring your legs back to floating table. Let your head and shoulders go down. Take your elbows all the way wide. All right, so it's a simple movement, but you have to do each step in order. All right, so we're going to do it a few more times. We lift up. So lift your head and shoulders up. As your head and shoulders lift up, again, the elbows are wide. Then once you're lifted up, you pull those elbows in, pull your knees in, touch your knees to your elbows. And then put those knees back to floating table. Come all the way down, right? That's important. You can't let those knees stay hugged in. You've got to move them back. Just like I said, you got to lift your head and shoulders first, then point your elbows, then you pull the knees in. The knees back, let the head and shoulders come down. All right, let's do that a few more times. Lift up, elbows point, knees come in. Take it all back. Lift up, elbows point, knees come in, take it all back. Let's do it 5 more times. Lift up, elbows point, knees come in, take it all back down. Lift up, elbows point, knees come in, take it all back down. 3 more. Lift up, elbows point, knees come in, take it all back down. Just 2 more. Lift up, elbows point, knees come in, take it all back down. Last one. Lift up, elbows point, pull the knees in, send everything back down. All right, you can hug your knees into your chest or just let your feet come down to the floor. A little rest here. Now, we're gonna do another thing here. I'm gonna angle myself a little bit differently so that you guys can see and I don't kick anything. All right, here's what we're gonna do here. You're gonna start with your feet on the ground, like mine are right now. You're gonna take your fingertips behind your neck, just like we just did. So your elbows are out to the sides. Now, you're gonna bring yourself up. As you come up, you're gonna pick up that right foot and you're really kick it out in front of you, like we did before when we were sitting up, right? And this is gonna let you come all the way up, right? And then once you come up, you're gonna bend back into your right knee without putting your foot on the ground, and then twist, bring your left elbow to your right knee. Untwist, set your right foot down, come all the way down. All right, now we're gonna do that on the other side. All right, now from here, you kick your left foot out, lift your head and shoulders, right? Bend into your left knee, bring your right elbow to your right knee, so you're twisting. Come back around, set that foot back down, drop all the way down. Now, the reason that we're kicking out with that foot is to help you get all the way up, right? The harder and the faster that you do that part, the easier it is to get up, right? If you're coming nice and slow, it's really hard to get up, right? If you give it that good kick, you're able to get yourself all the way up, right? Then once you're up, you bend that right knee and you take the twist. And then set the right foot down, back down. All right, so we're gonna do that a few more times, alternating our sides. So kick the left foot out, bring yourself up, bend back into the left knee, twist, set the left foot down, set your head and shoulders down. Kick the right foot out, come up, bend the right knee, take that twist, set it down, lower yourself down. Left leg, come up, twist, come down. Right foot, kick, come up, twist, come down. Left foot, kick, come up, bend, twist, and then come back down. All right, we're gonna do it 3 more times on each side. So, right foot kicks, you rise up, bend and twist, set everything back down. Left foot kicks, come up, bend and twist, set everything back down. Let's do it twice more. Right side, kick, come up, bend and twist, set it all down. Left foot, kick, come up, bend and twist, set it all down. 1 more time on each side. Right foot, kick, come up, bend and twist, set it all down. Left foot, kick, come up, bend and twist, set it all down. And as we come down here, we're in our hook line. Let your arms relax. Take your knees to your chest. Maybe just rock your hips from side, or your knees from side to side. Give yourself that little spinal massage. Now we're gonna come up here. As we come up, rocking up, and then we're gonna come around. As we come around, you're gonna take your hands to the mat. Now, we're gonna do a little sequence here, right? It's planks, it's side planks. We're gonna hold each thing for 5 breaths, right? So as we start, we're just gonna start in a regular plank. So your palms are on the mat, your shoulders over your wrist. Now you can do this from your knees. Your knees are gonna have to walk back a little bit so that you can drop your hips in your one straight line from your shoulder to your knee, or you can do this from your toes, right? Coming all the way up, shoulders over the wrists, hips just below the shoulders. Either way, once you get where you are, we're gonna hold it for 5 breaths. One more breath. Now from here, we're gonna open to side plank to the right. So that means your heels drop to the left. You take your right hand up to the sky. If you wanna do this with your left knee down, you can, but you're keeping that left shoulder over the left wrist, right hand reaches high, maybe it starts to reach over your head towards the front of the room. Okay, so you decide. I'm doing a modified right now, Pat's doing the full. It's like this. Hold it for 3 more breaths. And then let that right hand come down. You're gonna come back into your plank. Now this time, as we come into plank, right, you're gonna drop down to your right forearm. All right, so your right forearm comes to the mat. Your right shoulder's right over your right elbow. Now we're gonna come to that side plank to the left, but on our forearm. So you're gonna let your heels drop to the right, take your left hand up to the sky. Now as we do this, right, again, you can have your right knee down. You're keeping that, you can point your right fingertips towards the left side of the room. Maybe your left hand reaches up and over, but you're facing the left side on your right forearm. 3 more breaths here. Now drop that left hand down. You're gonna come back around, come up off to your right forearm. So we're here in full plank, right? Now we're going back to the left side here, but this time you're gonna stay on your right palm. So you're dropping your heels to the right, lift your left hand up. So we're in full side plank, or we're modified side plank, dropping that right knee. Left hand reaches up, maybe reaches towards the front of the room. You're facing the left side of the room. 3 more breaths here. Now, drop that left palm down, right? You're back in your plank. This time we're gonna open to the right, and but we're gonna drop to the left forearm first. You come down to your left forearm, let your left shoulder come over your left elbow. Maybe point those left fingertips to the left. Drop your heels to the right, take your right hand up to the sky. Right, so you're here, or you're here down on your knee. Up to you. Right hand can reach straight up, or right hand can reach towards the front of the room. 3 more breaths. And then let that right arm come down. Now you're gonna drop your right forearm down, right? So we're coming to full forearm side plank. Again, you can do it from your knees if you want to. I feel like you guys can't really see me. So angle a little bit. Right, so forearm plank here, right? Or drop to your knees here. 4 more breaths. Now, from here, you're gonna bring your hands together, interlace them, push your hips up to the sky. Start to walk your feet closer to your glutes, right? So now we're here in this dolphin. The closer your toes go to your elbows, the more you lift your hips, the more you're taking the weight into your arms, it becomes a little more challenging. What we're gonna do, we'll first hold your dolphin for 3 more breaths. And then push through your toes. You're gonna shift forward, bring your chin past your knuckles, and then let yourself shift back. Right, do that 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. And then bring it back to dolphin. Drop your knees down to the mat. Now let yourself come all the way to child's pose. Right, now we're gonna come back up here and then let your hips go to one side or the other. We're gonna come around, come down to our back. I'm gonna angle myself slightly so everything's visible. And then we're gonna come up. Right, so your feet are going up to the sky. Right, so you're here in your waterfall right now. You're gonna lift your head and shoulders up, reach your fingertips forward, like we're about to the hundreds, right? Now, you can let your head come down just like in the hundreds, keep your shoulders and your fingertips elevated, or you can keep your head and shoulders lifted. Now you're gonna take your left heel, drop it to the ground so your left heel just hovers right over the mat, right? And then you're gonna pull that left leg up, back till it's right over your hip, drop your right heel down, let it hover the mat. Pull it back up, left foot drops. Making this perfect L shape with your legs, right? When you come up and down with both legs. Right leg comes back up, left leg drops down, comes back up, right leg drops down, comes back up. Do that 3 more times on each side. 3, 3, 2, 2, and last one, 1, and 1. Back up. Now, let your head and shoulders come down here for a breath. Let everything relax. If you want to hug your knees in, you can. Or you can keep them up to the sky because we're going to go back to that position in a second here. We're going to take a little break. When you're ready, pull your head and shoulders up off the mat. Feet are up high. Right now, what we're gonna do here, you're gonna drop that left leg again, just like we did, right? So we're in that L shape. But this time, instead of taking your left leg all the way back up, then dropping your right leg, as you pull your left leg up, let your right leg start to drop. So they cross that 45-degree angle. And then you come to that L shape with the right leg down and the left leg up. Right, so you're gonna do that again. Right leg comes up, left leg starts to drop, so they switch in the middle. You just do that a couple times. So you gotta go nice and slow, right? We're not kicking. You're just moving your legs. Really start to feel it. Right, so let's do 4 more here. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. Last one. 1, and 1. Now pull that right leg all the way up. Let your head and shoulders relax down. Take your knees into your chest. Right now we're lying on our back. We're gonna do our hundreds here, right? We haven't done these in a little while. So I want you to bring your legs to that perfect floating table. Knees over the hips, calves parallel to the ground. Flex your feet back towards you. Now in the hundreds, we lift the head and shoulders. And again, if this gets to be too much, maybe after a while you let your head drop down, but your shoulders and your fingertips stay elevated so you're still engaged in that core. You can stay right here on this floating table the whole time we count to 100, right? Or you can go from your feet in floating, your legs in floating table to your feet straight up to the sky, right? Coming here to the count of 5. If you really want to challenge yourself, start with your feet straight up to the sky. Go from here to a 45-degree angle, up and down as we count to 5, right? So you can stay in floating table, you can go from floating table to straight up, you can go from straight up to a 45-degree angle. You decide. Now I'm gonna go in the middle, right? I'm gonna go from floating table to my feet straight up. That doesn't mean that you have to do that. If you wanna make it easier or harder on yourself, then either stay in floating table or go from that straight up to a 45, all right? But we're gonna lift the head and shoulders, and then you start to pulse your hands. So we inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Exhale, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Inhale, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Exhale, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Inhale, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Exhale, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Inhale, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Exhale, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Inhale, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Exhale, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Inhale, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Exhale, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Inhale, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. Exhale, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Inhale, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. Exhale, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Inhale, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Exhale, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. All right, let your head and shoulders go down. Let your legs extend all the way long. Take your arms overhead, right? So you're laying all the way flat on your back. With this diagonal so you can see my whole body. Now, we're gonna peel up and down off the mat, right? You do our roll-ups. So your options, right? As you peel up and down, you can do the straight up roll-up. You just tuck your chin, peel your head and shoulders up off the mat, come all the way up till you're reaching your hands up to the sky. You've got C curve with your spine, reach towards your feet. Doesn't matter if you don't actually touch them, right? And then take your arms out long, roll it all the way back down, right? So that's the straight up roll-up. If that's hard and you look like this, trying to get yourself up, right? I don't want that, right? That's just using your arms and legs. So if you can't keep your heels in the ground, you're gonna do your dead bugs, one leg up, both legs up, reach your fingertips towards your toes, roll up in that shape, right? So you find your spot. We're gonna do 8 more wherever you are. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. 1. All right, now from here, you're gonna lay it all the way down. And now from here, what we're gonna do, you're gonna bring your legs back into that floating table. Just a little bit. So we're here in the floating table, right? Now, just like we did before, lift your head and shoulders, right? And here's what we're gonna do here. The legs right at floating table, knees right over the hips, calves parallel to the ground. You're just gonna kick both legs straight out, right? The lower you go, I'm pretty low right now in a full canoe, right? The harder it is. So maybe you angle your legs higher, makes it a little easier. But wherever you are, right, there, right? You pull your knees back in, you come right to floating table with your knees over your hips, calves parallel to the ground. All right, so you kick your legs straight out, low as you can go without your heels hitting the mat, pull it back in. Just do that 8 more times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring your knees all the way in, let your head and shoulders come down. Hug your knees into your chest. Now from here, we're gonna go into our leg lowers. We haven't done these in a little while. All right, so you're gonna take your feet up to the sky. Now, we're gonna lower down, right? You're gonna lower your legs down. Up and down, up and down. But what I want you to do here, right, as you do it this first couple times, feel in your low back as you come up and down. You wanna feel that place where your back starts to arch up, where you get to that place where you can slide your whole hand underneath your back, right? That's where you wanna stop, right? It might be high for you. Maybe it's right here, and this is only as far down as you go, but then you come back up. Maybe you can get all the way down and your heels are almost on the ground, right, before you start to feel that. I can't tell you where it is, right? You have to feel it in your own body, right? So do it a couple times, find where your spot is, right, so you know how low you're gonna go down. And then bring your feet straight back up to the sky. When we do these, right, when you go lower, right, when your back starts to arch up and you keep pushing your heels down, what you're doing is switching over from using your belly right? Your ab muscles to using your back muscles. And that's not what we want in this exercise. We want to keep it in the belly, right? So it's not going to necessarily hurt you if you go lower, but you're not doing what you want to do anymore. So that's where we stop there. Now, if you want to, you can take your hand to make that little W with your hands. You put your thumbs right at your low back, your fingertips point towards the ground, and you can go up and down, and it's going to feel a lot better. I didn't put my hands in quite the right spot, but you can go a lot lower, and your back isn't going to arch, and it's not going to hurt, and you'll be like, yes, look at me, I can go so low. But the trick here is that even when you do that, yes, it's going to protect your low back. It's not going to feel bad, and if you want to do that, you can. But when you go that low, you're still switching over from using your belly muscles to your back muscles at the same point, right? It's not giving you any more ab work. It's just making it so you don't feel your back, which maybe you want, right? If you can't tell where that spot is and it really hurts, maybe that's what you want to do. I'm giving you that option, right? But I would rather, if you can, recognize it in your own body where your stopping point is and come up from there, right? So we keep our head and shoulders glued to the mat when we do these, right? We're not lifting up. That's going to help you recognize better that spot. Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to go down to the count of 3. So go down, 2, 3, and then you exhale. Pull your legs all the way back up. So you're inhaling on the way down, exhaling on the way up, going down to the count of 3, up to the count of 1. So I'm going to count it for you, right? So what you want to do is find how you can go in that count of 3 to your range of motion, right? So if your range of motion is big, you can go a little lower to the 3 count, right? You can go a little faster, and then you pull it back up. If your range of motion is small, if you can only get so far down, before you feel that back, then you're going to have to move really, really slow. And that is going to make you feel it more. All right. So I'm going to count for you. You're going to go down, 2, 3. Inhale, pull it back up. So just like that. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, pull it back up. As we come back up, you want to stop with your heels right over your hips. Don't pull your legs in further, right? And don't stop them before you get the heels over the hips. Let's do it a few more times. We're going to do it 8 more times. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, peel back up. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, peel it back up. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, bring it up. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, bring it up. We're going to do 4 more. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, pull it up. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, pull it up. Just twice more. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, pull it up. Down, 2, 3. Inhale, peel it back up. And then from there, take your knees, bend into them, hug your knees into your chest. Now, keep that right knee hugged into your chest here. Take your left leg out long. Right now, we're going to do our knee pull-ins here. Most of you are probably familiar with them. Right? When you do these, you take the left hand to the outside, or to the inside, sorry, of the right knee. You take the right hand to the outside of the right foot. You lift your head and your shoulders, and you're pulling your knee, right knee, in towards your nose as your left heel hovers. So it's tug, tug, right? And then we switch our legs. So you take that right leg long, right heel hovers, bring your right hand to the inside of your left knee, left hand to the outside of the left foot, tug, tug, and then we switch. Tug, tug, switch. Tug, tug, switch. Now, as you're doing these, right, you might mess it up. You take your right hand to the outside of your right knee, left hand to the foot, tug, 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 tug. It doesn't really matter, right? The point here is to keep your knee in line with the rest of your body. That's why we're grabbing the knee and the foot. And that's going to happen wherever you put your hands, right? We just want to be here where the knees are going out crazily, right? A few more here. Tug, tug, switch. Tug, switch. Tug, switch. Tug, switch. Let's do 3 more on each side. Tug, switch, 3 more now. No, tug, tug, switch. Tug, tug, switch. Tug, tug, switch. Tug, switch. Last one. Switch. Tug, switch. And then let both knees come into your body. Let your head and shoulders relax down. We're going to do basically that same thing again, but these are the leg pull-ins. So we take our legs straight at first, up to the sky, right? So just like we did when we were doing those scissors, you're going to take your left heel, drop it to the ground until your left heel's hovering the ground. Now here, you lift your head and shoulders up. You're grabbing as high as you can on your right leg. Maybe behind your knee or behind your thigh. Maybe it's up on your calf. You're really flexible. Maybe it's up at your ankle or your foot. right? But you're bringing that knee in towards your nose, so you give it that tug, tug, and then you switch here. Let your right heel hover, let your left leg come up, grab wherever you can around the left leg. Tug, tug, switch. Tug, tug, switch. Tug, switch. Tug, switch. Tug, tug, switch. We're gonna do 6 more on each side. Tug, switch. Tug, switch. 5 more. Tug, switch. Tug, switch. 4 more. Switch. Switch. 3 more. Switch. Switch. 2 more. Switch. Switch. And then last one. Switch. Switch. Now, pull that right leg all the way up. Let your head and shoulders come down. Hug your knees into your chest. All right. Now, last thing here, right? We're going to do what's basically our bicycles, but it's not bicycle because we're going to do it with straight legs, right? We did all that work earlier with the obliques. They're ready, right? I want you to take your legs straight here. And then from here, you're going to bring your fingertips behind your neck, elbows out to the side, right? We were in this position earlier. And what you're going to do from here, right? You're going to take that right heel, let it come all the way until it's hovering the ground. Now, here, you keep your left elbow anchored to the ground. You're going to peel up your right shoulder and just bring it towards your left knee. Right, so it's a little twist to the left. And then you come back down, let that right shoulder come all the way to the ground, pull the right leg up, drop the left heel, let the left heel hover, keep your right elbow anchored to the ground, peel your left shoulder up, bring it towards your right knee. Come back down, switch your legs out, do it again. When you come up, right, you're thinking about your right shoulder coming towards your left knee, not your right elbow. So we're not flapping that elbow around like we did before, right? It stays out wide. You just pull your right shoulder up as much as you can. Everything drop down, switch out your legs. Peel up that left shoulder. Come back down, switch it out. So we're just going back and forth, right? So just like our bicycles, except instead of a bent knee, we've got a straight leg. Makes it a little bit more challenging. All right, we're just gonna do 2 more on each side. 2. 2. Last one. 1. And 1. Okay. Bring your legs all the way up. Hug your knees into your chest. Take your hands to the crease of your knees. We're going to come up, right? We're going to rock and roll on the way up. That means if you've got your hands to the crease of your knees, you're going to roll up. Let your heels hover the mat as you come all the way up. And then roll all the way back down. Let your head and shoulders hover the ground. So you kind of round your back on the way down. So your head and shoulders stay up. Bring it back up. Let your heels hover. And just do that about 5 or 6 more times. Right? We're learning to use our core to get up and down instead of just using all the momentum because we're trying to stop it right before the heels hit, before the head and shoulders hit. If this seems easy to you, release your hands and do it without your hands. I'm going to do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. And this time, as I come down, I'm going to come back up. I'm going to let my feet plant on the ground. All right, so we're going to come around here. All right, and we're going to do a series of things with our shin box, right? So you guys are familiar with that, but we haven't done it in a while. So you're going to bring your right foot all the way over to the left edge of your mat, right? Then lean to the right so that your right knee comes down to the mat. Take that left hand, grab onto the left ankle, and then pull that left knee back against the sole of your right foot. So this is our right side shin box, right? Right shin across the mat. Right now, from here, right? We're first going to do our mermaid lifts. So you're going to drop your right hand back behind your right hip. Take your left hand up to the sky, press into that right hand, lift your hips up off the mat, and reach your fingertips towards the back of the room. And then drop everything down, Tag your left hand outside your left ankle. Lift back up. All right, do that 8 more times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now from here, we're gonna come around. Now, we're gonna do this a bunch later, but we're gonna practice it right now, right? Bring your hands around either to heart center or take them straight up to the sky. I want you to lean over to the right a little bit so you can kick your left foot in front of you. And then you're gonna bring your right foot around. So you're here in boat, right? And then from your boat, you're gonna take that left foot across, drop the left foot on the right edge of your mat, lean left so your left knee hits the ground, and see if you can bring that right leg all the way around, right? So we came back without ever moving, without ever dropping our hands. All right, so let's do our mermaid lifts on this side. Take your left hand, bring it behind your left hip. Take your right hand up to the sky, and then push into that left palm, push into your knees, lift your hips up, reach your right hand up and over, come back down, tag your right hand outside your right ankle. Just come up and down, 8 more, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. 1. Right now, from here, we're going to do those spins a couple times. That means, again, hands at heart center, hands up to the sky, right? Lean to the left so you can kick your right foot forward. Bring your left foot to join it. Now we're here in our boat, right? I want you to hold your boat for a breath each time we come here, right? So don't be in a super hurry. And then we're going to go to the other side. So now we're taking that right leg, dropping it across the mat, leaning to the right, coming around into your shin box. Once you get to your shin box here, right, lean to the right, kick that left foot in front, bring the right foot up, hang out in boat. And you can be here, right? And then from your boat, you take that left foot across, drop it down, drop that left knee down, swing the right leg around. And we're gonna do that a couple more times. So let's lean to the left, kick your right foot forward, bring it around. Hold your boat, trying to go too fast. And then we're gonna drop that right foot, lean right, swing the left leg around. Lean to the right again, so you can pick that left foot up, bring the right foot to join it, hold your boat for a breath. And then take that left foot across, drop your left knee, swing your right leg around. Lean to the left, kick your right foot forward, bring both feet up, drop that right foot down, lean to the right, come all the way around, back to your right side shin box. So we're gonna do it one more time, each side. Lean to the right, bring that left foot around, pick the right foot up, hold your boat, drop the left foot across, lean to the left, swing that right leg around. And then from here, we lean left, kick the right foot forward, bring the left foot up, hold your boat last time. And then drop your right foot across, lean right, swing that left leg around. All right, so you should end up back in your shin box on the right side, right? And we're gonna do our stretches from here. So you're gonna take your right hand to your right side. Now, if you want to here, you can drop all the way down to your right forearm. Take your left hand up to the sky, reach it up and over your right ear. So chest is open towards the top of your mat now. Now you're gonna drop that chest and face it towards your right forearm. So your left fingertips are still pointing towards the right side of the room, but now your left palm is open towards the back of the room and your left thumb is up to the sky. Push away from the mat here with your right hand. Bring both hands back up to the sky. Now, just like we did in those mermaid lifts, you're gonna drop your left hand outside your left ankle, right? Here you don't drop down to your forearm because it's a little bit harder, right? We're a little bit tighter here, but you're moving that right hand over towards the left side of the room. Taking it right over your right ear. And then just like we did on the other side, you're gonna take your chest and turn it towards your left thigh. So now your right palm opens towards the back of the room and your right thumb is up to the ceiling. And then come back around here. Both arms go up overhead. Drop your hands down in front of your right shin. And then from there, we're gonna walk it forward. So you're just walking straight forward over your right shin, should feel good. And opening in the hips. Maybe you can drop down to your elbows. Maybe you can get your chest, your head down to the mat. You just take your palms a little bit in front of the shin and that's enough for you. And take a couple extra breaths here. And then come back up to your palms. Right, now we're gonna bring it around to the other side one last time, right? So your option here, right? You can do what we just did and do the full boat to shin box thing, or you can keep your hands down on the ground, right? And just bring yourself around that way. But either way, we're gonna end up in this left side shin box, right? Once you're there, you're gonna drop that left forearm down outside your left thigh. Take your right hand, reach it up to the sky, and then reach your right fingertips over towards the left side of the room. And from there, you're gonna turn your chest towards your left forearm. Your left palm is open towards the back wall. Or sorry, your right palm is open towards the back wall. Your right thumb is up to the sky. Twist it. And then push away from the mat with your left hand. Put yourself all the way back up. Now drop your right hand outside your right shin and just start to reach that left hand up and over. That opening through your left side body. Right now your palm's facing the ground, left palm, as it reaches over your head. And then from there, we're gonna rotate the chest down. So now the chest is starting to face the left thigh, left shin. Your left palm is open towards the back of the room, left thumb up to the sky. Push away from that with your right hand. Take both hands up to the sky, turn both palms towards the front of the room, and then you're just gonna drop your hands down in front of your left shin and walk it forward here. And again, same thing, right? Maybe you can come all the way down to your chest, your head. Maybe you're just on your forearms. Maybe you're just on your palms. Find where it feels really good to you. Hang out there for a few breaths. And when you're ready, bring it back up here. Come all the way back up. Now you're gonna swing your legs in front of you. We're gonna lay back down on our back one more time. We're gonna go to that either to the waterfall or to legs at the wall. So you decide where you wanna be, laying down on your mat and taking your feet up to the sky. Or if you have some wall space, right, you can bring your hips up against the wall. So you're just to one side or the other, right? One hip or the other against the wall. And then you swing around, letting your feet come up the wall. Notice you gotta do a little scooch to get your glutes up against the wall. Because if you're using the wall, right? If you're taking the time to get into this against the wall, you want your whole leg to be against the wall. You're not just resting your heels to the wall. You want those legs to be at a 90-degree angle so you can flex your feet. Let the blood go from your feet where it pools all day back to your head and your heart. We need it more. Right, so you can do it against the wall. If you don't have the wall space, that's not comfortable to you, it's all right. You're just doing it in the middle of your mat, taking your feet straight up to the sky. Whether you're against the wall or you're in your mat, you're getting that increased circulation like I just talked about. You're naturally lowering your blood pressure. You're starting to flood the body with all sorts of anti-aging and anti-stress hormones. All good things happen when we get a little bit upside down. Now, when we're ready to come out of this, we're all going to come out of it the same way. Bend your knees, scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. Right? If you're on the actual wall, then you put your feet right against the wall, and then everybody's going to roll to one side or the other, use that fetal position, and then push yourself up to seated. And that is our Pilates for today.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you so much.
All right. So I will see you guys, like I said, next week. It's still, right? Next week will be online only. Right? So
Okay.